This is basically my office. This is where I work.
Roger Young Jr. spends his days in manholes, splicing cables for Verizon, just like his father did 40 years ago.
Are you a union-proud family?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But lately, it's not the phone lines they've been focused on, it's the picket line.
We will win!
Screaming at the top of their lungs, fighting to hang on to their way of life. Verizon and its unions have been bargaining hard over issues that include contributions towards health care premiums, freezing pension plans, and job security.
Verizon can hear us now.
But have unions lost their voice?
Are you afraid that unions are dying in America?
I don't think they're dying. I think they're ill.
Once a part of the American way of life, membership has declined by the decade. In 1950, 1/3 of American workers were unionized. Today, it's a mere 11%. Union members say outsourcing and technology have both contributed to eliminating some union jobs.
There's no doubt unions overall have less bargaining power than they had 30, 20 years ago. They have less political power than they've had because, they've shrunk as a share of the workforce.
A member of the Communications Workers of America, Roger Young Sr. went on strike for 6 months in 1971. Now his son has done the same, manning the picket lines 16 hours a day.
Do you ever feel like you're fighting for the survival of unions for your kids one day?
Well, I think I'm fighting for the survival of everybody's kids for unions someday because these are great jobs.
The unions are what made this country great. It's the people who try and break the unions. They're the ones who have brought the country to its knees.
Unions point to higher wages, guaranteed pensions for most members, and better health insurance than their non-union counterparts. And all that, unions say, makes them strong contributors to overall economic growth.
Our economy is 72% driven by consumer spending. Unless people have in their pocket money, they can't create that demand. We know that we can't have a low-wage, high-consumption society.
There's a decline in the middle class, but that decline in the middle class is directly related to the decline in unions.
And that's the bigger question.
If unions were stronger, I think the evidence from other countries and from history is we wouldn't have an extreme polarized income distribution the way we have it now. And one of the reasons we have such inequality in the U.S. is because unions have become so weak.
We need jobs, and the union gets the jobs. We could turn this economy around. The fact is, all our country wants to do is keep shipping jobs out of our country.
Justified or not, unions have gotten a bad rap, even called greedy by some.
A few bad apples definitely can't spoil the bunch, and the majority of the union people are the best workers, and they're not mediocre, far from.
This week, the strikers left the picket lines and returned to work, but without a new contract and still divided on key issues like health care. But the unions say the strike has shown workers are serious about getting what they want.
This is our fight for our lives.
In New York, Hoppy Harlow, CNN Money.